What's up, guys? Shredded Stupid Simple Part 2. This one's all about the nutritional side of things, okay, guys? My ultimate theme at the end of the day is, where's the caloric state of the body? Are you in a caloric surplus? If so, you're going to gain weight, or in a caloric deficit. I mean, you're going to lose weight. I know a lot of you guys follow me and followed me for a while now know I typically only eat 1 to 2 meals a day, and it's usually later in the day after a workout, all that good stuff. That is the caloric surplus at the end of the day is what drives me. Whatever my goals are, if I'm trying to cut up, I just make sure that at the end of the day I've burnt more than I brought in. Now, it's a lot harder to do because it's so hard to measure activity and exactly how many calories you burn doing different things. There are tools out there that are very good, very beneficial, but they're not precise, they're not exact. Same thing with measuring the calories that you eat, right? There's tools out there. MyFitnessPal is a great tool to use. I use that, and a lot of my clients do too. But that one's not as exact either. So at the same time, you gotta know where you are and what you're bringing in, know what you're burning, but at the same time you can't be a Nazi about it, because there's no way you could possibly know exactly down to the very calorie how much you're burning, how much you're eating. So you have to have a general mindset of it, and everybody's metabolism is different. There's a lot of people out there that have damaged metabolism, whether it be years of dieting and yo-yo dieting, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of ways you can really screw yourself up, but so you have to know where you're at. So generally, as an overview, you need a lot of protein, right, guys? Protein is critical. It's important to maintain mass, and maintaining lean body mass, maintaining muscle is the #1 thing that goes to metabolism. I know I got a lot of shit about my metabolism not being as high as what most people, or what it could be, because I do intermittent fasting and only eat 1 to 2 meals a day. But the #1 regulator of metabolism is where your lean body mass is. What is the state of your body? More muscle means more energy you have to use to move it around and do basic activities. A big guy, 300 pounds with a lot more fat, and a young guy, not necessarily young, same frame, same, all variables equal other than lean body mass percentage and body fat. The guy that's lean is gonna burn more calories walking down the street than the guy that's hauling around a lot of fat. Why? Because it takes more energy to move muscle than it does fat. Now, there's a point of diminishing returns there as well. Obviously, 300-pound guy's got a lot more weight to move, but in relatively talking, we're talking about lean body mass, and that's the #1 regulator for metabolism. So you want a higher metabolism, you got to put on a little bit more muscle. And I think that scares a lot of people, particularly women, is because they don't want to build this big bulky frame, and a lot of guys out there don't either. Building muscle doesn't necessarily mean you have to pack on just slabs of muscle and like the bodybuilders that step on the Olympia stage. No, you'll be very surprised about how 5 pounds of muscle can do to your metabolism, can do to your physique, without actually making you bloat up. It actually takes a lot of time and effort and energy and eating a ton of food to just blow up to these massive proportions like the modern day bodybuilders do. It's a lot harder than you think. So every time I'm dishing out like a protein sample or a scoop of protein, or you telling people about protein, they're like, oh, I don't want to get bulky. Well, do you want to have muscle, like any kind of muscle? Because protein is required. Amino acids are required to have that muscle. And if you're walking around $165 right now, 6% body fat with no muscle, you could probably put on a little bit more muscle without getting that bulky look. And a lot of people that tell me, come to me, is like, I don't want to get bulky, Nick. It's like, okay, fine, you won't get bulky, but you still should have that mindset around, oh, I need to maintain muscle. I need to build just a little bit. 1 pound, 2 pounds of muscle will do wonders for your metabolism without putting a whole lot of bulk on you. I think a lot of people have this false sense of reality, thinking like, oh, I drink a couple protein shakes today, I'm going to get fat. It's like, no, you're going to get fat if you're at a caloric surplus at the end of the day. That's what it is. Now, you can get fat off chicken and rice and veggies, but it's a lot harder because those things are filling. So protein's a very filling sustenance. That's why this protein is the priority when it comes to nutrition, guys. It's got to be that way. Not only maintain mass, but every process in the body, biologically speaking, requires amino acids, requires protein. So that's why it's so important to get a lot of it, because not all that protein you're consuming is going to replenish and recover from your workouts. It's going to other things, other processes that the body has to have amino acids for. So it's an abundance of protein that your body needs, and it's very, very hard to overdo. It's not toxic on the kidneys, so don't let that fool you. Unless you have a pre-existing kidney condition, it's very, very hard to damage the kidneys with excessive protein intake. I would think that the liquor consumption, alcohol consumption would be a lot worse on the kidneys and liver and all the detoxification organs out there. Nonetheless, Protein has got to be a priority, okay, guys? You're not going to bulk up, you're not going to do that thing. Carbohydrates, probably one of the most confusing macronutrients out there is carbs. How do I eat good? How do I eat carbs? Do I need to go low carbs to lose weight? If I'm trying to gain weight, I go high carbs. That's all relatively speaking, right? So everybody has a different carb tolerance, is what I found from my experience. So some people can get away with a lot of carbs, some people cannot get away with hardly any carbs, and even more, they function better on a keto style diet. And I'll get into that in a second. But carbohydrates are necessary to replenish muscle glycogen. They're actually not completely necessary for human life. They're actually one of the only macronutrients that you don't need. There are no essential carbohydrates. You could argue fiber, I guess, but as far as being essential to the body and life, your body can actually run on strictly fatty acids. It takes some time to overcome and overadapt the glucose and the carbohydrate dependency, but it can be done. I've done it. A lot of people do it. That's the keto process. But when I think about carbs, I cycle them, right? So if I have a heavy workout day, usually legs or a big muscle group, legs, back, and chest, 3 major parts. Those days I allot myself a little more carbohydrates than I would if it's just a cardio day, if it's just a arm day or a shoulder day or something like that. Those muscle groups aren't going to require the glycogen replenishment as much as the big muscle groups, especially legs. Legs day is a perfect day to do a cheat meal if you're into that sort of thing, because you're expending a lot of energy, burning a lot of calories, and then you need to replenish those to adapt and grow, okay? So the worst thing you can do for your nutrition if you're trying to lose weight is go in the gym, kill a workout, and not eat sufficiently to recover from that workout. You're going to be sore, you're going to be miserable, you're probably going to lose muscle if you don't get adequate nutrition, especially protein, but also a little bit of carbs in there too, as long as you're not going into the ketosis style diet. So carbs, cycle them. Heavy workout days, you're going to need a little bit more. Lower workout days, you know, for me, a low carb day may be 7,500 grams. Shit. I have to call him back here in a second. I'll call him now. Reggie, what's up, man? Oh, I'm outside. I'm shooting a video right now. You're on the video. Nah, you good. You good. It's organic. It's the way it is. But I'm about to finish it up, and I'll be back in just a second. All right, cool. So my boy Reggie just moved out here. Just the impact I'm having on people is just it's crazy. It's mind-boggling. I'm literally helping people move across the country. It's nuts, but that's for another video. Anyway, back to the carbs. Higher carb content intake on workout days that require a lot of energy, big days, chest, back, legs, and so that's how I think about that. And every now and then I'll go a super low carb day, just kind of see how I feel. If you really want to reset and kind of figure out where your carb tolerance is, go a couple days without carbs, 3 days, low carb as possible, then slowly reintroduce. So go 30 grams or lower one day for 3 days, and then jump up to 50, see how you feel. Jump up to 75, see how you feel. Jump up to 150, see how you feel. And write down how you feel and kind of take note of that. And then go as high as you can until you feel miserable. One day you eat 600 grams of carbohydrates, you feel bad. It's like, all right, cool, I cannot do that again. You know what I mean? A lot of people have done that before. And kind of know that. That's how I know my tolerance, right? So my upper level limit is not as high as some. It's not as high as I'd like it to be. But nonetheless, I don't get nowhere close to that. And I base my calories based on the cycle of workouts. So an off day, and some days I'll do completely fasted. So that's, you know, another kind of thing that I do. I've written on that, the intermittent fasting, 24-hour fast. Go check out that video. It's Fasted Friday. I do a 24-hour fast, take you through my day, kind of why I do that, all that good stuff. But nonetheless, go into fats. Okay, fats is probably one of the most critical macronutrients rather to get quality in. And I mean quality, like good fats. Okay, I'm not talking about fast food, trans fats, anything like that. I'm talking about healthy fats, and I'm not talking about nuts either. Nuts and nut butters are hyped as, you know, healthy fats, but not really, because nuts are a very insignificant source of protein. They're an incomplete source. They don't contain all the amino acids necessary. Plus, they give you a poor ratio of omega-3s, omega-6s, omega-9s that aren't optimal. Okay, guys, we need that optimal omega-3 ratio. When a lot of people, especially in America, we don't get omega-3s sufficiently in our diet, so we need to, you know, supplement them with fish oil or things like that, or we can just eat wild-caught fresh fish as much as possible, you know, 4 or 5 times a week if you can. But healthy fats are going to help out with, you know, hormone regulation. They're going to help out with energy levels as well. They're going to help out with metabolizing fats. So a lot of times I take fish oil, I take CLAs, which is conjugated linoleic acid, which is actually a a natural trans fat found in beef, but that actually helps target fat and helps your body utilize fat. So a lot of those is really, really good. Avocados is another healthy fat to use. Saturated fat in beef, and chicken, a little bit of pork. I'm not a big fan of pork. I don't feel like they're the cleanest source of protein to utilize, but I do eat it from time to time. Very rarely though, because it does upset my stomach. So that's part of me being a student of the game, realizing that my body doesn't really respond well to pork. I'm not going to do pork. Simple as that. But in the context of getting shredded, because that's what this video is all about, at the end of the day, you got to be able to burn more calories than you're bringing in. High protein to maintain the muscle, sufficient carbs to fuel the workout and to replenish, and other than that, guys, healthy fats. Avocados, the fish, all that good stuff. If you have a healthy fat that you really enjoy, I tell you what, really good cooking oil. So I get a lot of my fats when I do cooking. So coconut oil is really good. Macadamia nut oil is very, very good. I love to use macadamia nut oil on my broccoli. It gives it nutty, buttery taste, and it spices it up. It's better than olive oil in my opinion, and so I stick to macadamia and coconut. I've used avocado oil before too, so a lot of my fats come from those sources. MCT oil, NutriBio has a powdered MCT oil you can actually put into your protein shakes and stuff like that to make it a little bit easier to consume your fats. MCT oil is it acts very like a carbohydrate. It's a fat that acts just like a carbohydrate as far as getting the system quickly and providing you a quick burst of energy. Coconut oil, the reason coconut oil is so good is because it contains, depending on the quality of the coconut oil, 40 to 60% MCTs. So those are very high quality fats, great energy boosters. A lot of people doing keto will put that in their coffee, this and that. I'll have to do a whole separate keto thing because that's a whole other topic. But anyway, shredded, stupid simple. To make it stupid simple for you, count your macros, carbs, your fats, your protein. Protein is priority. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, at least, very minimal. Whether you're trying to gain or cut or maintain your lean body mass, that's the goal there. Carbs, keep it anywhere from 1 to 2 grams per pound of body weight, but that's very flexible. Like I said, a lot of people have a lower tolerance. Some people have higher tolerance. So if you're going to find your tolerance right there, I just gave you the ideas of ways to assess your tolerance. And then fats, anywhere from 0.4 to 0.6 grams per pound of body weight ought to do it for you. But go from there too. And at the end of the day, figure out where your metabolism is, figure out what you're burning that day, and maintain a modest deficit. 300 to 500 calorie deficit is all I'd really recommend to start off with. Get a little more aggressive with it on days that you're not in the gym. The days you're in the gym, make sure you bookend your workout or at least get something at the end like I do to replenish protein and carbs, throw them fats in a little bit later. But that's it, man. That's the nutritional side of the getting shredded, stupid, simple. Go check out the motivational one because that's the key. The number one thing that you need first is to be able to believe in your mind that you're able to do it, and then you're doing it there. So go check out that one if you haven't already. The next video will be on training, so we'll talk about the ins and outs of training on how to get shredded and keep it stupid simple for you guys. Man, for more about me and my crazy ways, my 1 meal a day, my self-experimentations, go check out nicoladuke.com. Thanks for watching, guys.